It was actually in the mid-90s, and there were a number of programs that started in the mid-90s, and several of us started networking informally because we were pretty much alone in our institutions, and it was a pretty radical idea. It came from business, and higher education was very highly suspect of this approach of continuous improvement and quality improvement and how it could possibly be useful in higher education. So we shared our war stories together and supported each other, and many of the similar programs were really dropping like flies. And we decided we should create somewhat of a more formal organization in order to be able to help support each other and try to find ways to make it useful for higher education. There were several of us together in Madison, Wisconsin in 1998. We brainstormed and made that decision. Brent Rubin was at Rutgers, and he was not only running their program, but he was also a professor studying the whole field and developing models and writing books in the topic. Jay Morley was doing continuous improvement at Cornell and was hired as president of NACUBO. And the two of them struck a deal. And NACUBO provided the first support and infrastructure to help NCCI get started. So that was really the beginning point where we had a home base. In the beginning, there were many people who understood that higher education needed to be more efficient and effective and had potential to be. As those kinds of challenges have arisen and become more prominent, more and more people are realizing it and looking for ways to become more efficient and effective. So it was interesting. There was a big rise in the early 90s when it was sort of a fad, and there was a lot of jargon, and there was a lot of using the corporate tools. Then it faded away, and many went away. And now, as the real challenges have arisen, significant programs that are really meaty and have leadership behind them and resources behind them have arisen and are taking hold. Because in the early 90s, there were a large number of institutions that started CQI or quality improvement programs, and many of them disappeared and died off. They really used the business model, and it didn't fit. And then as those challenges, those economic challenges have arisen, over time, more and more institutions have real leadership behind it, have real expertise behind it, are putting resources behind it, and approaching it in a way that really fits higher education and addresses those real problems. So we're seeing a real rise in the interest in the kinds of things NCCI is all about.